All right, what's up, guys? Yesterday, I went to London and I played PGA Tour 2K23 for the first time. I think I was one of the first 30 people to play the game. Super exciting stuff. Thank you to 2K for flying me out and for hooking me up and letting me play the game early. It really means a lot. And thank you to you guys for the continued support. So I have some thoughts. I think I played for about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. I did like 2.5 rounds. So I did my first round as Tiger. I did it on Pro. I turned off the distance control and stuff like that. I play on the settings that I normally play on, honestly, on PlayStation on 2K21. But I was playing on PC. I was playing with the Xbox controller. Tempo's a little bit more difficult on an Xbox controller, in my opinion. So I was hitting a lot of black fast to start with. But I did adjust to it. I got used to it. But I think first round with Tiger, I went like 8 under. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you guys the actual gameplay. But I do have some B-roll to play while we're talking about the game as well. I did a round then as Will Zalatoris, and I was actually trying the new 3-click swing mode there, and that is difficult, let me tell you. It's their own kind of twist on the 3-click method. It's not like the normal 3-click that you'd see normally. So you hold the A button until it gets up into the white section. There's like a gray section, white section, red section, and when it's in the white section, you let go of A, and then it kind of starts to tick around in a circle, and there's a green bit. You got to tap it as it's in the green bit, and then when it gets to the bottom, there's another green bit, and you got to tap it in the green as well. It's a pretty small window, so it's not easy to do. I was really struggling. I think I was like 11 over through 10 holes, and that's when I kind of was like, all right, I'm not going to waste the rest of my time trying 3-click because I'm absolutely terrible at it. I need to practice that some other time. So then I kind of backed out and I did a round with a female pro. I did it with Brooke Henderson. So I thought I'd check that out and kind of just see how it is to play as a female. You got less distance, obviously. I think Tiger was driving the ball over 300. Zalatoris was like 289, and then Brooke Henderson was something like 276 or something. I can't remember exactly, but those were the driving distances at least. And yeah, it does make a difference. And they had their custom swings as well, which was really cool. Like Zalatoris had a different swing to Tiger. I believe they have mo-capped custom swings for a lot of the pros. I'm not sure that you're going to be able to change your My Player swing, but I thought I'd throw that in there anyway. All right, so I'm going to put some gameplay up on screen now while we talk about the rest of the game. So let's jump into it. I have quite a few talking points that I want to hit home. Okay, so visually the menus and everything look a lot different, but definitely the graphics had really not took as big of a jump as I would like. And I think that's because of the Unity engine. They're limited to what they can do. It definitely looks better. Don't get me wrong. I was playing on PC. I think I was playing on the high settings. I wasn't even playing on Ultra or anything. It plays buttery smooth. It looks good. The character models and their animations definitely look better, but the golf courses and everything around just kind of look like they're a slightly improved version. It doesn't look like there's a big upgrade there, which is a little bit disappointing, but I think eventually they will have to switch engines, and that's when we'll probably see the big visual upgrades. Now, the distance control meter, as you saw in the gameplay trailer, it looks very different. It goes up and around your golfer, and it's not just a line along the bottom. It kind of goes along with your swing rather than just like going up in a straight line at the bottom of the screen. And I turned that off straight away. I don't like playing with it. I was playing with it at the start, and I was like, you know what? I was focusing on it way too much. I play much better. When I turned it off, the very next like 3 shots, I hit them all perfect because I was just focusing on my tempo and focusing on the rhythm of the swing rather than looking at the exact point that I had to like push forward the analog. I feel like it all gets a little too robotic then. You gotta be a little bit more natural and free-flowing with it. So from what I saw, Tiger, Zalatoris, JT, John Ram, Morikawa, Lexi Thompson, Brooke Henderson, Lydia Ko, Tony Finau, and Michael Jordan are pros. And I believe in the gameplay trailer they also showed Xander Schauffele, they showed Harold Varner, and they showed, who else did they show? I'm pretty sure they showed one more. I don't have a list of the full name of golfers that are in here, but I'm sure 2K will be keeping us up to date with that as we go. So, as well as you saw in the gameplay trailer, you have a caddy now. Nice addition of little fist bump cutscenes that I had with the caddy where, like, when I was playing as Tiger, he'd, like, fist bump his caddy when he hold a putt or something or when he hit a good shot. Now let's get into the gameplay changes. So the punch shot is back, which is great. We love to see the punch shot. I hit a couple of them. Definitely feels good because you can change it to a punch shot, and then on top of that, you can also like change the loft and spin of the shot as well to make it even more of a punch shot or less of one if you want to. But yeah, when you're in the trees, like I was in the trees a couple times and I was able to punch it out under the trees and get it to run on up there to the green, which is really, really cool. I was disappointed that there was no punch shot in 2K21, so it's great to have it back here. And one of the changes that had been asked for that has been put in now is the splash shot is only available in the bunker now, which I think is much, much better. People were able to just splash it from 19 yards to a foot way too easily from the middle of the fairway, you know. And now you still have the flops available to you, of course, but you'll have to partial them a lot more for like a 20-yard one. You'll have to partial it and try and put it close that way rather than being able to just hit a full splash, which is obviously a lot easier. So they've changed things definitely to make the short game harder, and that's something that definitely needed to be done in my opinion. Like they've changed as well, on top of the splash shot only being available in the bunker now, which I think is great, they've changed the chipping. So the chipping is going to be a lot more difficult now as well, especially some of these shorter chips that you were just able to chip in every single time. So a lob wedge will now have a total distance of roughly 25 yards compared to in the previous game you'd have your lob wedge would go 7 yards, it would go 8 yards, it would go 9 yards, like that. You had a chip like for every distance pretty much. That's not the case anymore. You have to partial your chips. You have to go a lot more on feel, which I like a lot, and it probably depends on your player or club's the exact distance. That's why I said roughly 25 yards. So you have to partial it a lot more. I actually still chipped in twice with Tiger, but it was so much more satisfying to do it because they had some venom on them and they were going into the hole as well. It's very hard to like get the exact distance on these chips because some of the partials you have to pretty much immediately put it forward. Also, guys, just a quick reminder, I am running a giveaway for PGA Tour 2K23. You can enter that just by clicking the link down in the description or by following me on Instagram, TheApexHound55. They're going to be both separate giveaways. I'm going to be giving away 5 to 10 copies of the game. Make sure that you enter because honestly, you never know. You might have a chance to win, and I'll be picking a winner around launch day. But yeah, that is one of my biggest pet peeves from 2K21 addressed, which is something that I really appreciate. I absolutely hated how easy it was to chip in on Pro. I still think people will be chipping in quite a lot, but I think this is going to solve the problem of pretty much every chip around the green being a chip in, especially on the harder difficulties as well, because it's like when you're partialing a chip, it's so much harder to get the tempo right as well. And honestly, the partials with the 25-yard chip, you really have to like roll it up there. You can't like, you have to hit like a sometimes even a like 5-10%, which is actually quite difficult to do. Some of you guys will be happy to know that John McCarthy is still in play now mode. Now, we didn't see anything about that in the press release. They said there was a new commentator, and they said that Luke Beam and Rich Elvey, no, it's Luke Elvey and Rich Beam. I mixed their names up completely there, will be in it. And then they had that new commentator as well. So I just assumed the new commentator would be in play now mode. But John McCarthy's still there. We can still abuse John. We can still have fun with John. We love you, John. Now, as I said, you can play with the analog or with 3-click. I don't know if they're going to be interchangeable in societies, or you can play as either difficulty online. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I think you can just go into the menu and pretty much change it in the middle of your round and everything. Now, Bibby, who was beside me, he runs a Twitch channel called Ice Cream Uploads, a website or whatever, and he was actually getting a lot more success with the 3-click method. Now, he had a bad start with the analog, and he switched over to the 3-click, and he was just starting making pars immediately. He started playing better, and I couldn't match him with the 3-click. So it's all going to be personal preference. I believe even the dev at the roundtable said that he and Sean West, who we've done an interview with on the channel before, are kind of being converted to 3-click as well. So maybe it's something that I'll have to try and get used to and do a few videos on, but analog is always going to be my main method, no doubt. Because like, I was really struggling. I thought it was going to just keep going around in a circle, but no, you hold it until the power is right, and then it starts to go around. You got to tap it quickly in the first green and tap it quickly in the second green. And I was just like, I kept missing it. It just needs to be drilled into your head. I didn't even like tap the button. I just kept tapping it once. I was playing a 1-click method instead of a 3-click method. Now, some of the visuals have been upgraded significantly. They have new trees, they have new ambient lighting. It's stuff that kind of would go under the radar a little bit, but the trees did look pretty bad in 2K21. They've updated that. The ambient lighting should be a clean, crisp upgrade to the visuals as well. But I would say that's probably the most disappointing part from what I played, is the visuals have not been upgraded quite as much as I would have liked. The fact that they have the custom swings, the mocap, and all of the character animations and visuals and swings look a lot better is great, of course, though. Now, what I've been told as well is that the grip, head, and shaft all have separate attributes. You can pick your ball to play with as well, which is something we were talking about earlier with the golf ball sleeves. Unique play style for each ball, like more spin, less spin. I talked about this in my gameplay video a little bit. There's no golden ball, and you'll always have a ball to play with. There's pros and cons for each. So you can play like a certain ball in, like, you might want a less spinning ball in the wind or something like that. It all depends on what kind of conditions you're playing and what ball you think will suit those conditions. There'll probably be a couple of golf balls that you like to stick with and stuff like that, though. But yeah, overall, I very much enjoyed my time with 2K23. As I said earlier, if you're looking for like a brand new complete overhaul of the game and everything to have changed and lots of gameplay changes and visual upgrades and everything like that, that is not going to be, and lots of new modes and stuff like that, that's not going to be the case with 2K23. It's more of like a beefed up, way better version of 2K21. There's not too many big changes. Obviously, being able to play as the pros is huge, and that's going to be big for the casual audience and bringing them in as well. But in terms of like ultra gameplay changes, nothing crazy. Probably the biggest gameplay changes are honestly the things that I mentioned with the chipping and the splash, and it doesn't seem like there's too many new modes. The Top Golf mode will obviously be really cool, and I can't wait to see how that plays out, and if you can do that with playing that with friends and stuff should be really fun, just doing some mini games on stream, stuff like that. Follow me, twitch.tv/TheApexHound1. I think I was streaming earlier today, and I'll be streaming this week as well. We'll be talking about 2K23, and we'll be playing some 2K21. Of course, I am doing my final PGA Tour 2K21 tournament. We're doing a send-off tournament. It's going to be the World Cup. Me and Alex teaming up in an all-shot World Cup tournament. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you follow me on Twitch for that. I'll probably upload highlights to YouTube anyway. But really appreciate the support, guys. It means the world to me. We just hit 157,000 subscribers. We're trucking onwards and upwards, and I expect this to be a brilliant end to the year for my channel, and I expect you guys to be along for the ride with me. And then next year we have the EA golf game. You know, it's going to be a crazy couple years. Like, it's going to be a crazy year ahead, definitely. And I'm working very hard on the ApexHound 2 channel as well. I'll be uploading a video there tomorrow about everything that went on at Gamescom. 2 new golf games coming as well, both PGA Tour 2K23, and apparently there's been a leak for Everybody's Golf. So make sure you subscribe to the ApexHound 2, guys. Won't hurt your chances to win the 2K23 giveaway either. So thank you guys for the support. It really means a lot, and we'll be back and we'll be talking more about this game, and hopefully we'll have early access to the game at some point as well to play for you guys in the next couple of months. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm hyped, I'm jacked up, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. Peace out.